Well, the United States and NATO allies have ruled out sending troops to Ukraine. And this comes after French President Emmanuel Macron said that sending troops to Ukraine cannot be ruled out. Well, US, Ukraine's biggest ally in its war against Russia, says it has no plans to send troops to fight in Ukraine. Take a listen.
No, the only U.S. Military personnel that are in Ukraine are associated with the embassy as part of the Defense Attaché office, and they're doing important work in terms of helping us with the accountability of weapons and systems that are provided to Ukraine. The president's been clear there's not going to be U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine.
NATO allies like Germany, UK and Italy also said that there is no change to the agreed position that no European country or NATO member state will send troops to Ukraine. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg also denied considering sending troops to Ukraine. However, Stoltenberg insisted that the military alliance will continue to support Ukraine in its war against Russia. The Kremlin also warned that the conflict between Russia and the US-led NATO military alliance would become inevitable if European members of NATO troops fight in Ukraine. Earlier, Macron hinted at the possibility of sending troops to Ukraine. And this after a meeting with European leaders in Paris that aims to send Moscow a strong message of Western resolve over support for Kiev. The leaders in Paris discussed the formation of a new coalition to supply Ukraine with missiles and bombs of medium and long range.
La priorité des priorités est la question des munitions.
Everything was discussed in a free and direct manner tonight. There was no consensus today to send troops onto the ground in a manner that's official, assumed and endorsed. But on the dynamic, nothing should be excluded. We will do everything so that Russia cannot win this war.
Au bout des stocks qui sont encore disponibles, à identifier les pays.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., U.S. President Joe Biden held one of the most intense meetings in the Oval Office. Well, that's, of course, according to Senate Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The meeting was over the crucial Ukraine aid that is facing an uphill task in the U.S. Congress. Biden has urged the lawmakers to approve the $95 billion package, which includes $60 billion for Ukraine. On the other hand, while diplomacy talks are on, Ukraine is losing more ground on the battlefield. In the latest, Ukraine's military said that its forces have withdrawn from 2 more villages near the eastern town of Avdiivka. However, Ukraine says that Russia witnessed significant losses in the fight for these villages. Earlier this month, Russian forces captured the strategic town of Avdiivka. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Take a look.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said that he was optimistic that a government shutdown would be averted, noting that while some disputes still remain, House Speaker Mike Johnson also said that he did not want to see a lapse in funding. Still, lawmakers are just a few days away, at the end of the day on Friday to be exact, to find an agreement before some agencies will be impacted. And as for now, no clear plan has been announced. Johnson was also optimistic. However, Chuck Schumer, speaking after the meeting to reporters, said that the conversation did turn intense on the issue of Ukraine, as House Republicans still insist that the priority must be for the United States to address its own problems, notably at the southern border. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.